Now, speaking of going forward, I'm going to jump into my conference semifinal predictions for these NBA playoffs. So, to start, in the Western Conference, the number one seed Thunder are going up against the number four seed Nuggets. Now, this one is going to be a really tough battle. I think it's going to be interesting to see if OKC, having so much time off since they got the sweep and the Nuggets and Clippers went to 7 games, how that's going to play a role. Like, will OKC be rusty or will they be rested? And ultimately, I do think that this series is going to go 7 games. They split the series during the regular season, each team winning 2 games. So I think it's going to be more of the same in this playoff series. But ultimately, I am going to pick the Thunder to win this series in 7 games. Now, the next matchup in the Western Conference is the 6 seed Minnesota Timberwolves against either the 7 seed Golden State Warriors or the 2nd seed Houston Rockets. I think that if the Minnesota Timberwolves match up against the Houston Rockets, I think it's a bad matchup for Houston. And I think that Minnesota will beat Houston in 5 games. Now, if they play Golden State, obviously Golden State has the the edge in terms of experience. They have the bigger names in terms of Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. But ultimately, I actually think that Minnesota would beat Golden State in a 7 game series. Also, the only difference is in this case, I think that their series would go to 7 games. Now to the Eastern Conference in terms of the 1 seed Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the 4 seed Indiana Pacers. But I think ultimately, especially with the Cavs having more rest and the Cavs having more length inside, I think that they'll just be a little bit too much for Indiana. And I think that the Cavs will beat the Pacers in 6 games. And then for the last series and matchup in the Eastern Conference, it is the Boston Celtics versus the New York Knicks. Being realistic and seeing how the games they played against each other during the season went, I actually think this one's not going to be as competitive as most people think. I think that Boston actually ends up winning this series in 5 games.